G'day everybody, Craig from the Growing Co. Today's video is a really important one. It is on managing a trade, managing your mindset when it comes to taking profits and when it comes to you being a successful trader, because that's the ultimate goal, right? You want to be a successful trader. You want to make a living from trading, or at least be profitable in this market. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to show you how I'm open 3 trades right now. And a bit of profit there, about 10,000 US, something like that. And I'm very comfortable with all of this, with my stop losses where they are, and with such significant amounts of money on the table. Now, the reason I am showing this to you is because it's important for you, A, to know that I actually trade for this particular video. For all of my videos, for God's sake. It's important that you trust the fact that I am actually a trader of 20 years, and I actually do what I teach. Pretty important, I'd say. But secondly, I want to show this to you. The reason why I'm comfortable in this situation that I'm in right now is because I have planned for it, and I'm going to show you how I planned for it. Okay, so here's a little snippet from inside of my trading course. Okay, scaling out and managing your risk. Now, there's a huge chunk of my course that is on taking profits, managing risk, because the focus for what I do, and you'll see in testimonies that are put forward by other people and whatnot, we're really here to teach you about how to manage what you've got and keep what you've got, as opposed to always be focused on the profit side, because it will send you loopy, and you'll generally, when you focus on profits, you don't get them. So for this example, we're going to use $400 trade where the risk is $400. And as you can see, the first target is 1-to-1, which there'll be other videos in the series as well showing it basically means you get your 1-to-1, you close half the position at the same distance between your entry and your stop loss, on top or below, depending on direction. Now you are break even. So what I'm saying is here, it's hit, we're closing 50% of our trade at the first target of 1-to-1. We've locked in a $200 profit. We've now got $200 available on the table, meaning that the trade is now at break even. So from there, what do we do? Well, it's all fairly straightforward from here. We can trail our stop loss based on higher lows when we're in an uptrend, or lower highs when we're in a downtrend. But there are some what ifs going on here. One of the what ifs are, what if the trade just absolutely rips off and there is no higher low on the time frame that you're trading? So if you take the trade on, say, the 4-hour time frame, and it just goes shoo, and does what crypto often does, and it just takes off and you're long, there might not be any higher lows for you to trail your stop. And this is the part where you've got to manage your mindset. You've got to manage your psychology and be prepared. There's one way to make sure that you can be managed throughout holding profits, big profits, and that is by being prepared, and that is why I'm showing this to you right here. You've got a few options. One, you can just close the whole trade and go, heaven forbid, I'm stoked, I've got a 25x. That's what we've got here, is that we've, looking at an example where it's done a 25x multiple of risk. Now, if we're able to let that run, you'll be looking in $5,200 with the correct stop in place. All right, that will be closing part of the profit. Now, what we're going to look at doing here is keeping calm. And I'm going to show you some of the options available to you. So, managing your head. The risk was $400. So we're going to bring it back to the beginning. The risk was $400. Hitting 1-to-1 is locking in $200 of profit, and then we leave our stop where it should be, which means we've still got $200 available to be stopped out. That is our risk. So $200 profit, $200 risk means that if we did get stopped out, the loss would be 0. Now, one of the things that you can do is that you can have a set rule in place, if you like, that when the trade is at 10x your reward to risk ratio, which in this case is $2,200, you might look to close part of the position, which is half of what is left. Okay, so at a 20x, we're going to close, at a 10x, you could close the position completely if you like. All right, you could move if the stop has not been moved, then this is an option for you. And what that does is it means that you got half the position still on, you got 2,200. You might just close half of that and go, okay, cool. I've minimized my risk to 0, and I've actually locked in a significant profit. My heart was fluttering a bit because it was so far away from where my stop loss was. There was a lot of money available to give back to the market. I feel better about that now. Now I can continue to trade without that additional burden of the what ifs. I can go to bed at night, I can sleep, but more importantly, I'm a trader. I got to find more trades. I'm not going to let this burden get in the way of my decision-making process. Another thing is when it hits 20x, that's $4,200 total risk on the table with no stop. Now, the thing is I'm showing you here is at 10x, you've got $2,200 on the table. Zero risk, but 2,200 because you've closed half the position, remember? And now it's 10x. At 20x, it's 4,200. How are you going to be managing this? Well, I gave you a couple of examples there as to what you can do throughout. To manage ahead and maintain the ability to trade calmly, like I said, you could close half of it. Okay, you could look to close part of that position and lock in some profits. So you'll close 25% and locking in $1,000. Now, whilst this is an example that I am taking you through here, and whilst this is, you are going to face this if you get going. If you do start to trade, you are going to get good trades. If you start trading now, well, we've got a bull run ahead of us more than likely. But don't forget, you can make money when the market falls too. So it's not just about making money when the market goes up. At the moment, I think we've got more upside potential than downside for a period of time. Then it will flip. I don't care. I'm going to be trading it both directions. But you are going to get big moves. I'm going to get big moves. I'm going to make a lot of money, but for me to do that effectively without it shifting my life or making me go crazy or not be able to sleep or just get in the way of living, I need to have a plan in place. Now, to get a 20 times multiple on risk, that is not unheard of at all. In fact, the trade that I showed you before that's at about 7,000, 8,000, whatever it was, that's not even close to where I'm looking to get out of that. I'm positioning myself for a big run. I only risked $500 on that position. It wasn't a big trade. It's a swing trade for a long-term run. I was looking to have small risk to let the thing move, and that's exactly what I've got right now. Guys, the bottom line is this. You're going to have to be managing yourself, whether it be raising your orders or finding your trades. You're going to have to be managing yourself when it comes to cutting your losses, managing yourself on taking your profits. But a lot of people fail to manage themselves when it comes to actually taking those profits. I've seen so many people round trip big trades, big profits. And this is not just for those of you who are using margin. This is a great lesson for those of you who are also in spot, which is probably all of you. So many times we'll see a position run really hard and we'll have life-changing money, but we don't close that position. Why? Because of greed. No logic, completely driven by emotion, not head, not planned, and not the outcome that you're after. If you want to be sharp in the market, if you want to get the returns available to you in this market, then stop burying your head in the sand. Okay, everyone wants to win at Monaco in an F1 car, but nobody's got the time to put in to learning how to drive the damn thing. Okay, trading is the same with a number of tools and a specific structured set of training and strategy and rules-based approach. You can put yourself in that F1 car and give yourself a really good chance of at least finishing at Monaco. And that's what I'm here to do. So manage your positions, manage your mindset, manage your risk, and you do it all with planning. Guys, if you're not already, jump onto thegrowmeco.com and get onto my free newsletter. Hell, why not just jump in and do the course and jump into my Discord community where I'll show you those exact trades that I am in now before I get into them. Have a great day. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.